The UK economy is in serious trouble, and some experts like billionaire investor Ray Dalio now believe Britain is entering a financial doom loop, where government spending keeps rising faster than tax revenues. But when economies do go tits up, they don't just destroy wealth. They also create enormous opportunities for investors who understand what's actually happening. So today's video is all about why the UK economy looks fragile, whether a financial crisis could be coming, and how you can build wealth no matter what happens next. The UK's economic doom loop. Let's start with the elephant in the room. The UK government is spending far more than it brings in through taxes. On what? I don't know, because there is zero transparency from Starmer and the Labour government. Anyway, the gap is widening. Public sector pay is rising faster than inflation. Government spending keeps climbing, and tax revenues just aren't keeping up. This creates the exact conditions for a fiscal doom loop. More spending, large deficits, higher borrowing costs, even larger deficits. And markets are starting to notice. British government borrowing costs recently surged to their highest since the 2008 financial crisis. But here's the key difference. Back in 2008, the interest rates were high because the economy was booming. Today, they're high for a completely different reason. Investors are demanding higher yields because they're worried about government finances. That's a huge shift. When investors begin questioning a country's creditworthiness, their credibility basically, things can unravel quickly. We've seen this story before: Greece, Argentina, Turkey, and many more countries around the world. Now, I'm not saying the UK is about to become Argentina overnight, but when debt keeps rising and growth keeps falling, markets eventually start asking the question, can this country actually pay its bills? Just look at the North Sea. A lot of my former colleagues and friends still work in the North Sea and are fuming about the UK prioritising net zero over extracting oil and gas reserves from the North Sea. What do you think about the UK's over-reliance on getting energy from other countries elsewhere? I mention this because this is one of the reasons the UK economy is struggling, in my opinion. The productivity problem. Another huge issue dragging down the UK economy is productivity. Over the last 5 years, GDP per hour worked has actually fallen. That's bad news for what was once known as Great Britain. In a healthy economy, productivity rises because technology, investment and innovation make workers more efficient. It's not happening in the UK. But when productivity stagnates, living standards stagnate as well. And that's exactly what we're seeing in Britain. Combine that with inflation and you get the worst possible economic mix: stagflation, slow growth, higher prices, falling living standards. And when governments face stagflation, they usually respond with the same solution: raise taxes. The tax trap. Taxes are already rising in the UK, but the reality, they're probably going much higher. Why? Because when governments face large deficits, they have only three options. 1, raise taxes. 2, borrow more. 3, print money. And usually they do all three. The danger is that high taxes can actually shrink the economy. Economists call this the Laffer curve. If tax rates become too high, economic activity slows down and tax revenue actually falls, which means the government raises taxes again. And that's basically how you get stuck in the doom loop. Even worse, higher inflation increases the cost of servicing government debt, especially index-linked bonds tied to inflation. So inflation actually makes the deficit bigger. That's a dangerous cycle. I am 100% not a financial advisor, by the way. This isn't financial advice. I'm just trying to help you with my investing experience. Why the pound could struggle. Another risk people aren't talking about enough, in my opinion, is the pound. If government debt keeps rising and if markets start demanding higher interest rates, the sterling could weaken significantly against other currencies, which means British investors face a double hit. Your investments might struggle and your currency might lose value at the same time. That's why many investors are now questioning whether they should hold too much exposure to the UK economy. And some wealthy individuals are already voting with their feet. Thousands of high net worth UK citizens have left over the last year or two. Just think of all the businesses that have gone and all the tax revenue we have lost that's now benefiting the likes of Dubai and Portugal, etc. And even young people are considering opportunities abroad. That's not a healthy sign. But to be honest, I don't blame anyone who has left or is considering leaving. I can't even consider it myself because of family commitments, but if things were a little bit different, I would be giving it serious thought. But here's the important part. Now at this point, you might be thinking, this all sounds pretty bleak, it sounds horrendous. And yes, the UK economy does face serious challenges, especially with the way Starmer and his government are running the country. But here's something most people misunderstand. Economic crises don't destroy opportunity, they create it. Because when uncertainty rises, most people panic, they sell, they retreat, they get very, very defensive. I know from experience on social media over the last 12 months, no one is really interested when I talk about investing. I may as well be talking to myself, to be honest. But I know how important it is to push on, because I know what happens when you bury your head in the sand. Just look at what happened to me after the 2008 financial crisis. I was like a dark cloud for 10 years. And if you want to know more about my negative decade, type yes below in the comments. Most people like me after 2008, they stop investing. And that's exactly when long-term investors find the best opportunities. Something I've been doing properly since 2019, after finally focusing in on financial education and long-term investing. How to build wealth during crisis. So how do you invest in a world where governments are overspending? Inflation is high and the economy is weak. There are a few key principles. First, use tax shelters aggressively. If taxes are likely to rise, protecting your investments becomes just as important as growing them. That means using every tax-efficient account available, like ISAs and SIPs. Saving tax is effectively the same as earning investment returns. Second, be cautious with government's debt. If inflation rises and borrowing keeps increasing, government bonds can become risky. Their assets tend to suffer when inflation accelerates. Third, focus on real assets. Real assets, things like companies, commodities, and productive businesses, can often benefit during inflationary periods. Just to be transparent, I focus on property, stocks, index funds, and even crypto. Unlike bonds, real assets can increase their prices along with inflation. That means they protect purchasing power, which is important. Fourth, look for strong companies selling essential goods. During difficult economic periods, companies selling staples often remain profitable, like food, energy, consumer essentials. People keep buying these regardless of the economy. And companies with pricing power can sometimes increase profits during inflation. What not to do? Because of what I've done as an investor in my negative decade, this is unfortunately where I'm a bit of an expert. Or was, because I'm someone who knows what not to do after making too many painful mistakes, but after reading hundreds of books and really focusing in on learning about money over the last 7 to 8 years, things have turned round for me as an investor. Anyway, during economic uncertainty, investors often make the same mistakes. They panic sell, they hold too much cash, or they chase hype investments, hoping for quick, easy wins. Like me when I lost our life savings back in the stock market back in 2011. And yes, my wife was due to give birth to our second daughter. And yes, we were due to move to our second home. This was a stressful period and I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend investing without education. Historically, the investors who succeed during a crisis do the opposite. They stay patient, they stay diversified, and they focus on long-term wealth creation rather than short-term fear, short-term chasing quick, easy wins. The real lesson, the uncomfortable truth is that governments will always face economic cycles. Booms, bust, inflation, debt crises, history is full of them. But individuals who understand these cycles can still build enormous wealth. In fact, some of the most successful investors in history built their fortunes during economic turmoil. The key is simple. Don't rely on governments to secure your financial future, obviously. Build your own strategy. Protect your capital. Invest intelligently and focus on assets that benefit from the long-term growth of the global economy. Summary. So here's the big question. Is Britain heading towards a serious financial crisis? What do you think? And if you are an investor, where are you investing right now in 2026? Are you betting on the UK economy or are you positioning yourself globally? To be honest, I prefer to be globally diversified. Let me know in the comments. And if you want a simple 5-step plan to build wealth even during economic chaos, see below for a recent playlist.